As a member of the LGBTQ+ community, I do not care if your religion thinks that LGBTQ+ is bad and you stay away from it. In fact, I think it is good because you are staying loyal to your religion. Yes, as a member of the LGBT community, definitely a member of the community, this person. They think that it's actually a good thing that you see queer people, you know, gay, trans, etc. people as less than human and nothing more than sinners because you're staying true to your religion. That's actually a good thing. I would rather that you stay faithful to your religion than treat other human beings with basic respect. No, just stay true to your religion. Definitely a thing that anybody would say other than, you know, the people that are treating other people that way. This video brought to you by my YouTube members and patrons. Thank you guys. How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another subreddit video. Today, we are going to be returning to r/AsABlackMan. This is a subreddit dedicated to a lot of people claiming to be people that they are not, in a way that justifies, or they believe justifies, saying typically some bigoted or concerning views. Very quickly before we begin, I just wanted to say, you might be wondering what this box is behind me, and to find that out, you'll have to watch the next YouTube member video that will be coming out on Monday. Shameless plug. But that is a good segue in for me to say that YouTube members and patrons, you guys get an extra video every single week, and that's for as low as £1 a month, which is the lowest tier you can go. That equates to about 25p per video. So if that is something that interests you, please do consider joining, as it really helps support the channel. And if you like it and you want to support me further, you can always up your tier. Currently, I don't have any rewards for it, so like you don't have to, but it really helps support the channel if you do. Other than that, let's get straight into the subreddit, shall we? So this was posted to Progressive HQ. As a black man, I love the white progressives of America. Y'all won the Civil War. Y'all got the Civil Rights Bill over the hump. Y'all voted for Obama. Yes, y'all get a little cocky and weird at times, and some of you still don't see me as exactly equal, but I will forever ride with you guys. Thank you. r/AsABlackMan. Now, my original thought was, did this guy go to Progressive HQ and title it AsABlackMan in the hopes that it would get him more karma? And then I saw that he had 42 upvotes and 623 comments. So needless to say, I'm not sure that everyone bought it. Like, that really common thing that a black person would say, which is, as a black person, some of you still don't view me as equal, but I will forever ride with you. It's a blessing that us blacks are able to understand that we're stupid, can't build anything, and shut up. Claims to be a black person, immediately says the most racist shit possible. Like, you know, it doesn't make it believable that you are what you say you are if you just immediately counter it with, like, anti-black sentiment, you know? You're watching mass manipulation in real time. As a lifelong Democrat, I don't know what to make of Charlie Kirk. I've since spent several lunch breaks watching his debates, full videos, and have come away with the impression that we got him all wrong. The reaction from those on my side of the aisle have really made me, and then this is copy-paste across many Russian bot accounts. Wow. You know, if you need Russian bot accounts posting spam to convince me that maybe my views on Charlie Kirk were wrong, I'ma be honest. I don't think my views on Charlie Kirk were wrong. I'm a black man from Detroit, and I started listening to David Duke in my early 20s. I remember when they wiped him clean from YouTube and other social medias. It's good to see him alive and well. His warnings have come full circle. His warnings. The warnings that you as a black man listen to. The warnings of the David Duke, you know, one of the most famous American white supremacists, neo-Nazis, and conspiracy theories. The David Duke who is a former Grand Wizard of the KKK. You know, leader of the KKK. That David Duke that you supposedly, as a black man, listen to and appreciate the warnings that he has given. I'ma just leave that one there. It's so unfair how big of a physical advantage men have naturally. I'm a very athletic person. I used to train sprinting/running and compete in it. I was outside partying the other night and mentioned the fact proudly. Then this guy who I know that never exercises or even eats healthy starts wanting to race me, and he beats me by far. Then he starts talking about racing against me while running backwards, and it was just so humiliating. I trained my whole life religiously, and some random guy can beat me without even trying. My older brother, who is incredibly out of shape and is unhealthy, also can beat me and mocks me for it as well. It isn't fair.
Written by the sort of couch potato that thinks they could beat Serena Williams in a tennis match without having ever picked up a racket. Yeah, I don't think people realize how important technique actually is to running, you know? Running is one of those things that from an outsider perspective, you watch it on like the Olympics and you go, I mean, I might not be as fast as them, but anyone can do that. It's just running. You just train, you build the muscle up, and you run. But there's actually a lot of technique to it, and it's not just as simple as you just run. But like, let's look at the world records, for example. The world records for the 100 meter for the women, it's only a second longer than men. Usain Bolt currently holds the world record, right? Realistically speaking, this idea that any man could beat any woman in sprinting, regardless of how much training the woman's gone through and how little training men have gone through, is nonsense. Because do you really think, as a man, do you really think that if you did a 100-meter race, you would only be a second slower than Usain Bolt? Like, really? Because that's still like Olympic competing levels of sprinting. So if you think that you would only be a second slower than Usain Bolt, you should be in the Olympics. The reality is, this was just some weird fanfic written by a guy that has some supremacy over women kink.
This is why I'm mad. Women fought for us to work. I just want to stay home and cook and play with my pet and drink iced coffee. And if I'm in a bad mood, I can just eat ice cream. I'm a female, and I approve of this message. This is why women, like myself, should stay home and not work. She's just mad she isn't drinking iced coffee with a face mask on watching her show.
Yes, the things that women are known for saying, like, I am a female, and women, like myself. Like, this is very clearly just an account that some dude has made so that he can be like, look, see, even women agree with my misogynistic views. But also, I say this every time this kind of point is brought up, but women fighting for the right to work wasn't fighting so that no women could ever be housewives. And in fact, that option still exists. Women's right to work and the fight for women's right to work was to give people the option. If you want to be a housewife and you have a husband that supports that, do it. More power to you. Live the kind of lifestyle that you want. However, there are women that don't want to do that. That's not the lifestyle they want to lead. And those women have the option of working, an option that needed to be fought for. That option doesn't mean you have to do it. If you have alternatives, it just means that the option is there. It's the choice that is important. Because if they didn't fight for that and they had no choice, the women that don't want to be housewives don't have any choice. But you, as someone who does, still has that choice. But regardless of that, almost certainly not actually a woman and it's just some guy posting pretending to be a woman.
I'm a lefty, and I think you are a joke. Trump is not a puppet of Putin, and it would be better off if he was.
Ah, yes, that bio just screams lefty. Someone that refers to themselves as a lefty, who I've never heard someone, you know, more liberal or left-leaning, you know, they're not the same thing, I'm aware. Before someone comments that, I know liberal and left are not the same thing, okay? They just happen to be more commonly packaged together. But I've never seen someone who is on the left side of the spectrum refer to themselves as a lefty, okay? I'm left-handed, and that's what lefty means. But also, saying that Trump isn't a puppet of Putin, but that it would be better off that he is, comboed with that bio, not really something that left people would be inclined to say, is it really?
Dear girls, please stop playing with men's emotions. Yesternight, tips Fedora, was a girls' night out, and we all stayed later in my friend's house. We were all awake till 1 a.m. and were discussing the different topics when I realized how most of my friends have a boyfriend and a male best friend. Now the twist is, they all use their male best friends as their backup boyfriend. I know you all know this, so what's new? Well, as a girl myself, tips Fedora, I know how girls literally use their male friends. Most of the boys, who are actually good, I know they are good, give their female friends the same vibes of a boyfriend without committing to being their boyfriend. And girls absolutely love it because they are not entitled to have any responsibility in return. They get the same attention from their male friends as their boyfriend would have given them. Dear girls, please don't do this. Don't play with someone for your time pass. Grow up, tips Fedora.
Oh, yeah, they use some of the classic lines, like the whole, you girls know this, right? You girls know what I'm talking about, obviously, and as a girl myself, I know what girls do, tips Fedora. This just 100% reads as a nice guy who is friend-zoned and is like, all these girls who have guy friends because they've got boyfriends and they just want the boyfriend responsibilities from their guy friends without being in a relationship. And it's like, you know, I'm sure there are people out there that do this. Almost certainly. And like, it would be a shitty thing to do. Absolutely. But this isn't just something that every girl is doing and all you girls know how it is. You're all doing this. This is some nice guy on the internet that's like trying to complain about women, but from a believable and agreeable standpoint because I'm obviously a woman, tips Fedora. Illegals is not a dehumanizing term, you absolute donut. That is a dehumanizing term, by the way, because I called you a donut, which isn't human. See the difference? Well, before I even continue, calling someone an illegal is dehumanizing because illegal isn't a human. Illegal refers to something that is a crime, and being a human isn't a crime. Being an illegal immigrant, i.e. someone who has broke the law by immigrating to a country by not following those laws, that's a human term. An illegal immigrant, because an immigrant is a person. That directly refers to a person. Saying someone is just an illegal is dehumanizing. Illegal immigrant is the term you're looking for. Illegals is like saying the blacks or the gays. Is used to take away from the fact you're talking about people. As a black gay guy, both are accurate descriptions of me. You are welcome to call me either or both. The fact that you think calling someone who is black as black is wildly racist. /AsABlackMan. He says black gay guy, right? Importantly, he doesn't say as a black gay, he says as a black gay guy, because saying as a black gay immediately comes off as a little bit insulting. And he's aware of that fact, even if subconsciously. So I feel like he's kind of defeated his own point there already. Because yeah, referring to people as the blacks or the gays is predominantly used by racists and homophobics in a dehumanizing manner when talking about the problems with the blacks or the problems with the gays. It's deliberately used in that way because they don't see people like that as human beings. So they deliberately don't refer to them as people. Dehumanizing language has existed for centuries and it has constantly been used as a tool for oppression. It's so much easier to oppress people when you don't see them as human and when you convince the people who are doing the oppression for you that the people they're oppressing are not human. It's a tool and it has always been a tool for basically forever. No one said the flag is democratic. I was pointing out that the Democratic Party is the party of racism throughout history. The flag is a representation of states' rights to govern as they want, separate from the federal government as the Constitution allows. I can count on one hand how many times I have felt that I was discriminated against for my skin color, and I've been on the planet for over 45 years. Never felt I missed out on a job or promotion or anything else because of my race, but I was definitely offered positions over more qualified people because of it. This was in response to me asking why this Democrat flag keeps showing up at a lot of Republican gatherings. I'm aware of the ideological switch between parties. Just wanted to poke a hole in his argument.
State rights for what, Broden?
Sorry, that was probably so loud. State rights for what, Broden? What is it exactly that the Confederacy was seceding for? I don't think it was their right to, legalize weed or drink alcohol. No, I think there was something else that was a bit more on their minds that was possibly the most predominantly mentioned things in all of their writings for why they seceded. I'm sure it was only a little thing, though. I'm sure it wasn't that big a thing. I mean, really, though, the audacity to claim that, God, as a black man, I can count on a single hand how many times I've been discriminated against. And then like in the exact same fucking post talks about how the Confederacy deserved to keep their rights to keep black people as property, to keep human beings as slaves and property. That's the thing that he's supporting here, that he thinks the Confederacy had a right to, and in the same breath as like, but as a black man, I've only ever been given more opportunities for my skin color. I've never been discriminated against. I just think the black people should be slaves. What? MAGA isn't about free speech for minorities and Democrats. Nazis were big on speech that supported them. Are you a minority? Why? You making a list? No, I am just wondering if you were a typical liberal white person with a white savior complex who prides themselves on speaking for minorities like myself. Contrary to what this person clearly believes, a white person can still be a minority, right? I would technically classify as a minority because I am non-binary and I am pansexual. I am neither straight nor am I cisgender. Therefore, I technically classify as a minority. So I am absolutely going to speak out on subjects like that. It's the reason I talk about politics so much at the moment, is because it's a really important subject to me, because as someone who is directly affected by a lot of these laws and a lot of the things going on, and as someone who is dating someone directly affected by all of these things, they are really important subjects for me to speak out against, because yes, Donald Trump actively opposes free speech. Anytime someone speaks out against him with legitimate facts and receipts, he calls it fake news, you know? And the Nazis absolutely did do this. They absolutely supported speech that supported them and banned speech that opposed them. These are very real things that we have seen historically and are seeing again. Someone going, oh, you're not allowed to speak on this subject unless you're a minority, but then like completely forgetting the fact that minorities that are not just racial and ethnic minorities exist is clearly not making this argument in good faith. You know? Just gonna lay that out there. But also, I really gotta point out that a white person absolutely can point out the racism of another white person. Pointing out and condemning racism is not only the responsibility of the people currently being assaulted, right? It's the responsibility of everybody who wants to live in a world without racism. The same goes for homophobia, transphobia, sexism, any of those things. It's not just the responsibility of the person being attacked, it is the responsibility of everyone to point out and condemn these things. And that is where I'm going to end the video. I hope you have all enjoyed. Oh God, I don't get it. I really don't. If your argument can't be made without lying, why do you believe what you're saying? How can you believe what you're saying? Why do you believe that what you're saying is the right thing? If you can't make a point without lying, your point's shit. Why don't people see that? I don't understand. If you would like to support me in making more content like this, then I have a Patreon in the description down below, or equally you can click on that join button on the channel to support me. It helps a lot more than you might realize, but by no means should you feel like you have to. I'm going to keep making content regardless. But a huge, massive special thank you to all of the wonderful YouTube members and patrons that do support me. All of your names are up on screen right now. It genuinely helps so much, and it genuinely means so much. So thank you to everybody that does. Genuinely, I need to go have a lie down. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Peace out. That was a voice crack at the end. Jesus Christ.